Greetings, fellow explorers and my brothers and sisters of Tartaria. Welcome back to Quest for Tartaria channel. We're talking about dinosaurs. Check it out, guys. Let's jump right in. A T-Rex, right? What would you guys say? A T-Rex? On a temple in Laos that was made in the 1500s. See, I think I saved a screenshot. The Ha Pra Kiao, Laos, also written as Ho Pre Kio or Fo Kio, and other similar spellings, is a former temple in Vientiane, Laos. It is situated on Sitatharath Road in the southeast of Watsi Saket. Watsi Saket. It was first built in 1565 to house the Emerald Buddha. Oh, the Emerald Buddha! Alright. But has been rebuilt several times. The interior now houses a museum of religious art and a small shop. The real question is, when was that dinosaur carved? The unexplainable mystery of the Cambodian Stegosaurus. Cambodian Stegosaurus. This is a tough one for anyone to believe, but it's also proving quite difficult for scientists and archaeologists to effectively explain it away. Some years ago, an eagle-eyed visitor to the Tom Prom temple in Cambodia noticed what looked like the carvings of a Stegosaurus, or at least of a dinosaur similar to the Stegosaurus. Photographs were taken and posted on the internet. Creationist groups quickly started to refer to the Cambodian Stegosaurus as proof that mankind once lived alongside the dinosaurs. How else will there be an ancient temple builders know what to carve? The Cambodian Stegosaurus has been featured in a myriad of TV and YouTube programs about subjects ranging from aliens to Atlantis. So it actually had a date. It was like 1180. Actually on the carvings, 1180 AD. And of course, the controllers who have brainwashed the masses, and the masses who are now called skeptics, are saying that everything that has to do with the old world is a hoax. It can't possibly be any different. It has to be the Industrial Revolution. Everything must be the Industrial Revolution. They say it looks like a Stegosaurus, but it's not really a Stegosaurus. See, the head's too big and everything else is out of place. And, well, it must have been carved, and it looks newish, and they must have found fossils, and it was made for the movie Tomb Raider, and they have all these excuses, you know, and yeah, blah, blah, blah. You guys live in a plain, lame, controlled slave world that the controllers have you controlled in, and we live in a magical, fantastic, unbelievable world with fairies and giants and minotaurs and centaurs and cyclops and satyrs and griffins and unicorns, Pegasus, and giant animals. You guys saw the giant animals, and pygmies, and you name it, guys. Dinosaurs. So the carving on the calendar on the carving reads 1186 AD, and it's there, guys. And they say, "Oh, it was made for that." No, there's a lot of imagery here. There's a lot of pictures of it. It's alongside other, animals. It's on the temple, but yeah. So that's our second dinosaur. The first one was the T-Rex, and let's move on. Let's not forget the Cambero, Mexico dinosaurs. They were found in the, I believe it was 1945. I'll have to double check. But they have depictions of a bunch of dinosaurs. And of course they're trying to discredit and disprove all this stuff. Humans could not have possibly lived with dinosaurs. Well, we're going to do a quick read of the Coverup dinosaurs, and then we'll move on to the Inca dinosaur stones. Okay, here we go.
In 1945, Waldemar Julsrud, a German immigrant and knowledgeable archaeologist, discovered clay figurines buried at the foot of El Toro Mountain, on the outskirts of Acambaro, Guanajuato, Mexico. Eventually, over 33,000 ceramic figurines were found near El Toro, as well as Chivo Mountain, on the other side of town. Similar artifacts found in the area are identified with the pre-classical Chupacoro culture, 800 BC to 280. The authenticity of Julsrud find was challenged because the huge collection included dinosaurs. Many archaeologists believe dinosaurs have been extinct for the past 65 million years, and man's knowledge of them has been limited to the past 200 years. If this is true, man could not possibly have seen and modeled them 2,500.
Yeah, so they believe that these are fake. These are fake because the professionals said they were fake. The scientists, the brainwashed masses think that they were fake. The people who have inherited this magical world and have been brainwashed by the controllers believe it's fake. And then when you get the history and you're reading it and you're like, okay, well, I thought they were fake, because all over Google and controlled places like that all say that they're fake. Of course, they don't want you guys to know of the world you live in. They don't want you to be free. They don't want you to realize that this is your world. You know, that your ancestors lived with dinosaurs and all kinds of really cool stuff, and there was monsters and all kinds of crazy stuff. They don't want you to know.
100 years ago, during the years 1945 to 1946, Carlos Perea was director of archaeology, Acambaro Zone, for the National Museum of Anthropology in Mexico City. In a recorded interview, he described Julsrud excavations as unauthorized, as were many similar discoveries made by local farmers, but he had no doubt that the finds were authentic. He acknowledged that he examined the figurines, including dinosaurs, from many different sites. He was present when official excavations were conducted by the National Museum and the American Museum of Natural History. They found many figurines, including dinosaurs, which he described in detail. In 1954, the Mexican government sent 4 well-known archaeologists to investigate. A different but nearby site was selected, and a meticulous excavation was begun. 6 feet down, they found numerous examples of similar figurines and concluded that Julsrud find was authentic. However, 3 weeks later, their report declared the collection to be a fraud because of the fantastic representation of man and dinosaur together.
See, guys, you only believe that they're frauds because man and dinosaurs together, because of the brainwashing we got. When we really used to look up at the sky as little babies and go, wow, there's water up there, it's blue. Then we have a world that goes, that's not water up there. That's the reflection of the ocean water on the surface. And they know everything. You know, I know it for a fact, even though there are all these theories that have never been proven. And they're just theories. And here's the same thing. Well, my science book says that man and dinosaur never existed because the controllers made the science book, and the controllers didn't want us to know that there was dinosaurs in Tartaria. They didn't want us to know that there was monsters. They didn't want us to know our world. This is our world.
55 Charles Hapgood, respected professor of anthropology at the University of New Hampshire, conducted an elaborate investigation including extensive radiometric dating. He was accompanied by Earl Stanley Gardner, former district attorney of the city of Los Angeles, California, and the creator of Perry Mason. They falsified the claim that Julsrud manufactured the figurines by excavating under the house of the chief of police, which was built 25 years before the Julsrud arrived in Mexico. 43 more examples of the same type were found. 3 radiocarbon tests were performed by Isotopes Incorporated of New Jersey, resulting in dates of 1640 BC, 4530 BC, and 1110 BC. 18 samples were subjected to thermoluminescent testing by the University of Pennsylvania, all of which gave dates of approximately 2500 BC. These results were subsequently withdrawn when it was learned that some of the samples were from dinosaurs. In 1990, an investigation was conducted.
Look at the discrimination for the dinosaurs. Oh, the dinosaurs, so they're automatically false. Look at you, brainwashed masses. Look at how brainwashed you are. Fighting for the religious doctrine of evolution and of the controllers. Just brainwashed. Get out of the mass psychosis. Get out of the brainwashing. Be free. Realize what you are. All you children of Tartaria and you sons and daughters of Seth, remember. Know who you are. The controllers are of the line of Cain. They want you to feel like you live in an industrial piece of garbage world, that you're a slave to a corporate businesses and jobs, and then you work and you die. Or, if that's not good for you, go do drugs and die. That's the world they want you to live in. But that's not the world we live in. We are amazing, amazing creatures. We are not just mindless animals. We are amazing celestial creatures, and take pride in that.
By Neil Steedy, an independent archaeologist whose livelihood depends on contract work from the Mexican government. He arbitrarily selected an excavation site considerably removed from the Yulesrud site. Shards were found but no figurines. He commissioned radiocarbon tests for samples from the Yulesrud collection, which produced a range of dates from 4,000 to 1,500 years ago. Then he decided to ignore the results because he claimed the figurines were too soft to last more than 20 years in the ground. He also ignored the fact that many of the acknowledged Chupacoro pieces are of the same consistency, and they survive just fine. Of course, some pieces in the Yulesrud collection are beautifully fired. Steedy's effort does more to support Yulesrud collection than to refute it. He effectively demonstrates the determination of the establishment to defend evolutionary dogma in the face of the devastating
implications of the truly significant find. So, yeah, let's move on to the Inca dinosaur stones. We're just going to try to touch on solely on all this stuff, and you guys can search for it further. But you'll notice when you make a search, 90% of the stuff you're going to find is going to be contradictory evidence that the controllers are using to brainwash the masses into keeping you a good corporate slave. Trust me. Okay, if you guys can help me with this one, I don't remember the origin, and somebody told me it was ancient Hebrew in origin, ancient Israeli, and I'm not sure, but you can see it's definitely a dinosaur style creature that they're killing and stuff. I believe a lot of the dinosaurs were very vicious. So even the long-necked dinosaurs, Mokele Mbebe, has been known to attack people in canoes and very territorial. But here we are, guys, the Inca dinosaur stones. And yes, they got all kinds of really cool stuff. Triceratops, Iguanodon, looks like long neck, Apatosaurus, Stegosaurus. They're all together. I mean, they were fascinated about these dinosaurs. Styracosaurus. I mean, they were Triceratops, and they were, saying that they were riding them, and they may have, if you guys remember. If you haven't watched the Suicide of Saul video on Quest for Tartaria, make sure that you do. They actually have people riding dinosaurs in that too. So I have a feeling that there was something about these humans riding dinosaurs. Iguanodon, I believe. And these other dinosaur types in there. Raptors attacking this man. He's crying. You see the tears going down, and he's using a sword or a knife to stab down on the raptor. And he's getting raptors biting him. And he's stabbing another dinosaur in the neck while these dinosaurs are attacking them. And it looks like a stegosaur with that in his mouth, the spikes on the tail. And then that one that's got a wrapped around his neck, he's crying. This one right here, he's crying, He's stabbing it. And, but yeah, look at that stegosaurus spike there. There's that one again. We saw that one. And then, yeah, stabbing him in the neck. I mean, there's a lot going on. There's an old story about the Mokele Mbebe where the tribes people brought one of these down, and everyone who ate the meat died because of the salmonella that was in it. Every single one. They thought it was a cursed creature. I've seen this creature as well on the Tartaria maps. I'll have to show you. I've seen a few maps with this creature. Makes me wonder. A dragon? And then, your Diplodocus. and your pteranodon, and the people riding them, you know, and oh yeah, I'm getting attacked by a T-Rex Allosaurus thing, you know, and just awesome, guys. What is in the Amazon? And then, you know, they're fighting the dinosaurs. Looked like they were having a lot of trouble with the dinosaurs, a lot of fighting and stuff. And then the Stegosaurus.
Now, guys, can the Inca stones be independently authenticated? There's quite a few ways. I've learned that. Let me just tell you the old information that used to be on the internet, and I believe before the controllers began to alter and control things. There was hoax stones. So the original story I read years ago was that the original stones came over with the conquistadors, and then in the early, I think it was like 1400s, or let's see, yeah, it was in the 1400s, and then in the 1950s, fake stones appeared with the real stones, and then they were all considered hoaxes and fakes. And now they're saying that there's a story that, well, when they were getting the stones, the natives of Peru began making fake stones because they found out that they could make money on dinosaur stones, and that's how they've got the fake stones. But either way, there was real stones, and now there's fake stones. So now they're all fake because there's some fake stones that were taken in by greed or a Smithsonian cover-up. So, yeah, I mean, let's see. So, culture lasted 100 BC, da 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 da. You guys can read, you know, more into this if you want. Inca was from 1476 to 1534, and that's when the stones were supposedly brought over to Spain, and locally sourced in southern Peru. They got all this stuff on it, but I know you guys want to get down to the nitty gritty. If not, you can do some more research on it. Looks like a driver's license picture. Sorry, bud. Authentication. Okay, well, these guys were saying that the stones were scraped out and carved by copper tools mixed with other elements, arsenic and tin and stuff, and that's how they made it back in those days. So if it was a hoax, these original stones still have remains of those materials in the carvings, so you can see that they're legitimate from that age because they were made with the same tools. Another way is every 1,000 years the stone leaves a tiny little white line in on the scrape itself, on the carving itself. Every 1,000 years it leaves a little tiny white line. I was learning about that a long time ago, and apparently the stones that aren't fake have that white line, so they're very old. And this is from the museum, but there you go. And there's the Inca dinosaur stones. But yeah, I mean, it may not be as exciting as Alfred Isaac Middleton stuff, but I mean, there is a lot more out there, and there is cryptoid zoology out there. So we actually have living, breathing dinosaurs out there, and we have a lot of stories, even natives. Natives having names for these animals, like in the Congo, Makeli Mbebe, and in Australia, Borajor, and right above that is the Murray in Papua New Guinea. And I mean, there's a lot, and there's even evidence, footprints, all kinds of stuff. So stay tuned for that. So the conclusion for the Inca dinosaur stones, the next step Our researchers utilize the same metallic analysis in attempting to authenticate the Inca stones as known. So yeah. But yeah, they found it. Oh, and we should look up the Cretaceous hammer, guys. So, a hammer that's older than the dinosaurs. Alright, here it is, guys. 400 million years old, 500 million years old hammer. This thing is millions of years older than the dinosaurs. How can that be? How can you have a hammer that's millions of years older than the dinosaurs? It was discovered in Texas. That by itself, that alone, I mean, come on, guys. The Cretaceous hammer. Oh, and there's more. Then you have Elvis Delk footprint, where a human and dinosaur. So the human obviously stepped first, see? And then the dinosaur stepped out. You can see it right there. What were they running from? A cataclysm? The doom of the humans and the dinosaurs may not have just been like a Noah's flood, because there was another flood, another doomsday, another day when humans and dinosaurs died. And don't forget the 300 million year old bell they found in coal. Look at this, guys. Let's find it right here. Let's see. There it is. It was found in coal. Look at the details. But yeah, 300 million years old. Bell found in coal from West Virginia that dated around 300 million years old. The coal broke and it was inside the coal. They say coal takes millions of years to form. How did this bell get in it? If your world's not rock, trust me, there's more. Make sure you like and subscribe to Quest for Tartaria. And if a bell's not good enough for you, how about doorknobs? Voila! 300 million year old doorknobs found in coal. You see, if you're finding artifacts that are in coal, then the artifact has to be 300 million years old, which is older than the dinosaurs. There's a conflict, people. Doorknobs from the old world, a cataclysm. Or how about when you find a 2 million year old doll in the Napa Doll of Idaho, and it was found here. It was below the sand, clay, boulders, lava. Black sand is right there. It was found there in 200 million year old soil. Is that a hoax? No, they found it. So the world is not what they're making it. How many times have they had a great reset? How many times have they done this? This is not our first time around. Tartaria might not have been our first time around. Now you have Indian cave paintings as well of dinosaurs. You look them up. Some of them, they throw out some that are just hoaxes. and some are real. This one's real. Everything got really detailed on that one. I mean, everybody's looking for it. So keep your eyes open, my men and women of Tartaria. Remember, Tartaria is not gone if it still lives in you. I know the Bible says in the end, knowledge will increase, and He will pour out His Spirit on His people. Well, knowledge is increasing. There's been a great cataclysm. What humans need to understand is it's humans versus them. You have to know. They want to control and destroy. They're not created. They aren't creative creatures. They aren't children of the Creator. They are children of the Destructor. They are destructive, evil creatures. Here's the Italy one. It's a very old one from Italy. But yeah, there's a lot of evidence out there, and there is more to come. Be sure to like and subscribe to Quest for Tartaria. And if you're not watching the videos in order, be sure to go back and watch the other videos. Quest for Tartaria is not always appearing on searches, so make sure that if you found us, make sure that you subscribe. And yeah. Everybody have a blessed day. And remember, Tartaria doesn't die. It lives in you. So, you're special. Alright. We'll see you on the next video.